You know what I've been up to for the last few weeks? Playing Mario Kart. Just like a lot of Mario Kart. You know what I like about Mario Kart? Items. Except when they're the bad items, which we did a video for. But those good items? Man, I love me some good Mario Kart items. Mario Kart is like this cruel lottery. Tons of times you're gonna get crushed in this unfair onslaught of gross stuff. But when you have the gross stuff, it's not so gross anymore. It's actually pretty dang cool. Let's talk about some of my favorites. Top 10 Mario Kart items, let's go.
Number 10.
The green shell. The green shell is the most boring item on today's list, and honestly one of the most boring items in Mario Kart, period. Next to the banana, it's definitely one of the most common Mario Kart staples, but honestly, it's just dependable. It's a reliable blocker behind you, and in tight spaces or straightaways, there are plenty of opportunities to fire off one of these bad boys and take down someone in front of you. Sure, it bounces around, and sure, it can become your own worst enemy off of a wild ricochet, but I'm usually actually happy to see this item as long as I'm at least in the middle of the pack. Upgrade it to the triples, and now we're talking. Upgrade it to the double dash Bowser shell, and oh my god!
Number 9.
The Piranha Plane. It's nice to have while still having its weaknesses and not being completely broken. It gives the player a nice lengthy time to chomp away at nearby coins, obstacles, and of course players, giving you a tiny speed boost with each lunge. Sure, it won't guard your back, and it probably won't pull you from last place up into first, but especially at the beginning of the race, it's always a ton of fun to go full Little Shop of Horrors on a group.
Number 8.
The Fire Flower. You know what sucks about the green shell? Is when you miss lining up your shot and it just goes drifting away. But what if you had 10 shots? 10 slightly smaller shots, but they had basically zero lag between when you fired one and the next. That'd be pretty dang great! The Fire Flower abandons the defensive simplicity of the classic green shell, but exchanges it for a flamethrower, burning away quickly but almost guaranteeing that you're gonna hit somebody in front or behind you if you're close by. Because you can just machine gun all the shots out, it'll often eat away your opponent's defensive item before cooking them alive as well. It's a pretty good metaphor for why I haven't dropped my mixtape yet. It's 10 explosive singles so good that they'd stop you in your tracks. That's probably why I only show up on Shofu Cyphers once every 4 years.
Number 7.
The Lightning. This is one of those items that you usually only see farther back in the pack, and while it isn't as dynamic as some of the strongest items on today's list, its effect is still absurdly powerful. Being able to shrink everyone in front of you and dumping their items on the floor, then allowing you to flatten the tiny racers in front of you like a pancake if you play your cards right. It's so annoying to get hit by because there's nothing you can really do to avoid it. You aren't invincible, you're going down, and you're losing whatever you were holding, which is especially taxing in the double item box format. It's pretty rare, and I swear I only see these things go off like one time per race, but when Mother Nature strikes, it's deadly.
Number 6.
The Mega Mushroom. If the lightning is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the Mega Mushroom is Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Yeah, they really called it that. This Mario Kart Wii monstrosity makes you a momentary Godzilla, with a speed boost, immunity to some items, and once again, the ability to flatten all the foes around you. It can be a little annoying at times in tight spaces, but for the most part, being big is a pretty big deal.
Number 5.
The Mushroom. I'm lumping all the kinds of mushrooms here, whether it's single, triple, or golden. Gotta go fast. Being able to suddenly burst past another player is huge, especially in the front of the pack. On top of this, there are all kinds of shortcuts in Mario Kart that can only be accomplished by using a mushroom to cut through normally slowing off-road areas. While unlike most of the top items on this list, these offer you zero defensive protection at all, there are some comebacks that simply couldn't happen with anything but a Shroom Zoom. Sure, it's a wacky torture simulator, but at the end of the day, Mario Kart is a race, and it turns out that going faster is pretty good in races.
Number 4.
The Star. The Star is the gold standard of Mario Kart items, wrapping together invincibility and speed in a package that I am always happy to see. Sure, you might not go rocketing forward like with the Golden Shroom, but the boost is significant enough to cut corners, all without fear of getting hit by anything. You also blast away any foe that you touch if they're unfortunate enough to be in your path, and it's insanely good if you have one of these active when someone else drops the lightning on everybody else. There isn't a whole lot I can say, it's just good.
Number 3.
The red shell. It's crazy how many spots farther up you can go in today's tier list by painting your green shells red. And the answer to why is simple. The red shell is the ultimate death machine. Equipped with patented heat-seeking technology, the offensive ability to throw an item that locks onto the player in front of you is just pretty dang unmatched. It's a terrifying feeling hearing the red shell's warning siren without a protective item at your back. In fact, it's the true reason people even care about protecting the back of your cart so much in the first place. The truly nuts variant of this is the triple red shell, which defends you while also giving you a nearly guaranteed way to pass at least the player in front of you. It's either going to wear down the defenses of the player in front of you, or you're just going to be able to hit them multiple times in a row with nothing that they can do to stop you.
Number 2.
The Crazy 8. Okay, so I know a lot of people hate this item for some reason, and I do get it. It's intimidating. You might not know how or what to do with 8 suddenly rotating items around you, and when's the right time to time them. A nearby opponent might steal the star or mushroom or whatever by running into it. That's annoying. Here's the secret. Mash L. Just mash L. I found that giving up trying any strategy with this item still makes it a heck of an item in the end. Because even if you just mindlessly mash away until all your items are gone, you're still getting a coin, a green shell, a red shell, a banana, a mushroom, a star, a blooper, and a bomb! And yeah, there's a lot of junk in here, but at the very least this is a red shell and a star, which can attack the player in front of you while zooming away past them. It's a party of all kinds of items, but when it has the number 3, the number 4, and the number 5 item from today's list combined into one obnoxious pile, yeah, that's a pretty dang good pile.
Number 1.
The Bullet Bill. There is a clear number 1 on today's list, and a clear number 1 best item in Mario Kart, and that's my BFF Bill. This thing took the Chain Chomp from Double Dash and pumped it up full of invincibility and speed steroids. It gives you the ability to simply forget about driving, sit back, and enjoy the chaos. The speed you get from it is unmatched. The knockback for getting blasted by this thing is huge. There is no better comeback tool. And I know what you're thinking, J-Wits, you can't really get this unless you're all the way at the back of the pack, and this is true. But especially around lap 2, it can turn a lost race into one that you can actually win. But at the end of the day, I'm not talking about item rarity. I'm just talking about the best items. And man, turning into a massive death bullet and pulverizing everything in sight, that's the best. Mario Kart is just a way of life. You live by the explosive comeback items, and you die by the coin that doesn't protect you at all in first place. It's just a nice little slice of chaos that I'm happy to have back in the mainstream again. Thank you guys, truly thank you for watching these recent videos. It's always a huge joy making them and sharing my gaming experiences with you guys, and I'm so glad the support has been just so huge this year. Have an awesome day, may your items be the good ones, and as always, see you next time with more Nintendo content.